Testing. Yes, thank you. Welcome, everyone, to those of you physically present, as well as those watching online. I am grateful to be facilitating our meditation today. My name is Melissa Arterberry, and I am a licensed practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral, Florida. In order to catch a vision beyond the horizon, which is the title to Reverend Dee's talk today, we must align with our divine nature, that which is all-encompassing, that which is back of all creation, that which sees the totality of everything, seen and unseen. Coming into divine alignment, we are able to see with eyes of the Christ consciousness. We are able to hear with that which made the ears. It is from this place of accepting our oneness with that which creates worlds that we begin this meditation. So if you haven't already, please become comfortable in your seat, however that is for you. Putting your feet on the floor with your hands resting gently in your lap, with your palms open, creates a receptive mode. With eyes closed or diverted in a downward gaze, put your attention on your breath, simply noticing it. Feel the rise of your belly on the inhalation and the flattening of it on the exhalation. The invitation is to slow the breathing. Breathing in deeply and exhaling completely. At your own pace, breathing in deeply, exhaling completely. As you continue to breathe at your own pace, that is perfect in every way for you, you become more and more relaxed. Picturing your third eye, home to your intuition, see it opening up, expanding, as you continue to breathe in and out deeply and completely. Now picture your heart space. See it opening up, expanding as you continue to breathe deeply and completely. You feel an overall softening of your body temple. In this completely relaxed and comfortable, safe space, allow these words to be your words. With grace and ease, I release all thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve me. As I surrender to my highest self, the God within, that wills for me only perfect happiness, I open myself up to endless potential and possibilities. Silently speak these words to yourself after I have spoken them. As a clear channel, I trust the divine insights that are revealed to me. In this completely open and receptive mode, I am able to hear, see, know, intuit, and feel what my highest self would reveal to me as I proceed. I remember everything necessary from this meditation for my greatest yet to be. I will now ask you 4 questions in first person. Repeat each question silently to yourself, knowing as we ask, we indeed receive. What is Spirit's highest vision for my life? Breathing that question in. What is Spirit's highest vision for my life? Allowing whatever wants to bubble up, being completely open and receptive. You receive. Simply notice, observe what bubbles up when you ask the question, what is Spirit's highest vision for my life? Question number 2, what must I embrace to manifest this vision? What must I embrace to manifest this vision? We could also ask, what am I to say yes to? Breathing this question in and releasing, knowing we are in the flow right here, right now. Knowing whatever bubbles up is perfect as we intentionally collaborate with that one power, that one presence that is who we are. The third question: what must I release to manifest this vision? What must I release to manifest this vision? Said another way, what must I let go of? Again, observing what bubbles up, knowing it is perfect. Moving now to question 4. What must I become? What must I become? Breathing this question in. Knowing again that whatever bubbles up for you is perfect. Knowing that we have everything we need within. What wants to be revealed in a more robust way? Knowing that the universe, the one mind, is abundance, is forever expanding. That infinite life source, the creative intelligence, is always expanding, always becoming. So must we continue to birth that one perfect life as our life. Knowing that what is calling each one here is an expression of love, an expression of oneness, as we are all valuable and important. We are all necessary in this greater yet to be. As we bring this meditation to a close, I do affirm that it has been perfect for each one who participated or shall participate in a future viewing of this recording. As Spirit continues to expand, growing in the lives of each one of us here, this garden we call our life is full of beauty, of joy, of harmony. And so I am grateful for all the divine insights that have bubbled up, that have been revealed to each beloved. And for those revealings yet to come, I speak a word of deep appreciation for the divine that inspired this meditation, bringing this time together to a close. I invite you to come back to this room, to this time and place amongst family that are beautiful members of this congregation, friends yet to be, as we are each and every one the beloved expressing. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Namaste. If you feel called, now would be a good time to record any divine insights that may have bubbled up for you. Please feel free to remain in the sanctuary or go to the lobby for refreshments. Our celebration service begins at 10:30.
Good morning, everyone. Are we ready back there, guys? All righty. My name is Linda Lloyd. I am one of the licensed practitioners here at Centers for Spiritual Living. And happy Sunday, everybody. All right. So welcome to our Sunday celebration. We are here to celebrate your spiritual magnificence. And welcome everybody out there online. And Ernest Holmes is the founder of the philosophy that we study here. And we recognize the truth found in all spiritual teachings, both traditional and contemporary. So for more information about the science of mind philosophy, faith, and way of life, visit our information table, which is back in the corner. There'll be somebody there to answer your questions, or you can visit our website. There is lots of really cool information going on there at cslcapecoral.org. And I'd like to please welcome back, they've been gone for a couple of weeks, the Big Love Band, because Cassie got married.
Good morning.
So she's a married lady now. So all you guys, she's done. Anyways, please welcome them as they get us all warmed up. So get on your feet. Is this a dance one?
It is.
It is. All right.
The song actually tells you what to do. So feel free to get your blood flowing this morning. With the light of life, here we are, open wide. There's no place we can hide. We sing out, we sing, sing out, we sing. Spirit move, our hands and feet. Spirit move. Everything, Spirit move in the space between. Spirit move. Like a river deep and wide, rolling out like a mighty flood, love spilling every heart and pouring out of us. Feel it breaking down the walls, building everybody up. It's taking over now, there's no way it can stop. So we sing out, we sing, sing out, we sing. Spirit move, our hands and feet. Spirit move, everything. Spirit move in the space between. Spirit move, Spirit move, our hands and feet. Spirit move, everything. Spirit move in the space between. Spirit move, Spirit move, Spirit
Woo! I like that song. That's an awesome new song. So everybody stayed standing. Oh, you guys are so great. So let's warm our hands together as we prepare for our blessing. So stretch out your hands. And those of you out in Cyberland, you can direct them back at us. There's no time and space in God. And repeat the words with me on the screen. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are thankful you are here. Welcome to the center. Woo! So at this time, the kiddos that are here can exit to the youth program. It's like they're going with Janine and Valerie today. Have fun. Of course. We have fun in here too, right? Yeah. Disney's got nothing on us. I think this is the happiest place on earth. So we would like to give a shout out to our Melissa Arterberry, who is holding a high watch during our service today. She guided us in a lovely meditation this morning. And so she is just over there holding space, holding the high watch, as we like to call it, that everything is perfectly unfolding here as her unbroken awareness of God is happening over there in that little corner. So thanks to Melissa. And we have spiritual living circles here on Wednesday because we all know that it's really great to come to church on Sunday, but then what do we do the rest of the week? So Reverend Denise leads a spiritual living circle where they have really great discussions Wednesdays from 12 to 1:30. So come and join that fun. And what else we got, Cassie? We have a sound bath every fourth Friday with our lovely, I can't read her name, Jenny Hong is her name, yes. And she is absolutely amazing. So it is an $18 love donation, and once again, it is the fourth Friday. And join us this Sunday is Easter. And this is our third annual one. It's also our game day. So we put out back here, we have cornhole and ladder toss and pickleball and just all kinds of croquet, all kinds of fun stuff. So please come out and join us. It is a potluck, so you guys bring the cool dishes, and Bee's going like this back there. Sign up so we don't have all like coleslaw or bread and only desserts. So we have a bounty of oh, that is so cute. We are making the ham and the turkey, so you guys bring all the trimmings, okay? And I think I'm even going to make a lemon cake, because it's a lemon cake time of year. So I think I even got some lemon curd to go with it. So anyways, let's bring back the Big Love brand with the thing itself. Give them some love.
then there is why. Because why? Because why? Because there's you. Let's not forget about you. The thing itself will move you, if you will call it through you, to guide your thoughts and deeds, and care for every need. To bless the path as you explore it, and if you happen to be searching for it, it's A, absolute E, energy, I, infinite, oh, oneness, and you is universal. And then there is why. Because why? Because why? Because there's you. Let's not forget about you. The sun still shines when it's cloudy, and you're still divine when you're pouty. You rage and you dream, you hope and you scream, you curse and you care, and it's always there. Because it's A, absolute E, energy, I, infinite, oh, oneness, and you is universal. And then there is why. Because why? Because why? Because there's you. Let's not forget about you.
Woo! You guys are on a roll today. Wow. We are so lucky here. And the slide on the screen is about a meditation group that I lead on Tuesday nights. So it's at 6:30. And we need to have the love offering removed from there. It's just a suggestion if you'd like to help pay for the air conditioning that we get to enjoy around here. But don't let that keep you from coming. It's just a suggestion. Please come and meditate with me. And my son Cole's always here with me. And Robert's been coming. And sometimes some other people join us. So it is, it's a way to anchor in these teachings and something to do other than Sunday to keep yourself in spirit. So please do join us for that. And we have a beautiful, I don't know if you've all noticed, but when you come in on that side of the building, we have started a butterfly garden in honor of Karen Gidley. So her, yes, friends and family are contributing to that. So if you would like to donate something or money, we would just love to have that. And Patty Carney is in charge of that. She would love to accept your gifts and offering and just make that an amazing space out there. And what else have we got? We have past life exploration experience with our beautiful and lovely Doreen Conway. She's here somewhere. Where are you, Doreen? and say hi to everybody. Yeah, I've heard it's a really great thing. It is this April 18th from 7 to 9 p.m. right here at the Centers for Spiritual Living. So please join for that, and you can register online. And we have another, I'm sure it's going to be an amazing song. So please give the Love Band some more love.
Okay, so this song, when you think about it, every day your life begins again, and the rest is still unwritten, which means it's up to you to go beyond that. And I always love how we pick our songs, and it turns into that big sentence, right? Spirit move the thing itself, the rest is just unwritten. Oh, and one more. We let it be. There we go. All right, here we go. I am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Get yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. I break tradition. Sometimes my tribe are outside the lines. Yeah, we've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way. No, no. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Get yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Oh, oh, yeah. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. 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 The rest is still unwritten.
Wow. Will you guys remember us when you get all famous and everything? I know, right? Ah, that's right. So now is our time for our reading and prayer. So please welcome our lovely and beloved Dawn Bauer, one of our licensed practitioners here, to deliver this week's reading.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if anybody noticed in that, was it the first song or the second song? Second song. God, Buddha, Allah, the four-speed blender. Did you guys catch that one? I'm going to start using that one in my prayers, I think, you know? Four-speed blender. One with the four-speed blender. I love it. It's hard to say fast. Four-speed blender. So, yeah, good stuff. Now I've locked my phone. Here we go. We've got a wonderful reading that Reverend Denise sent to me, and it is one of my favorite stories, and it's a longer story than what I'm sharing here. It's called The Story of the Bamboo Farmer. If it's helpful to close your eyes and picture this, great. If you don't need to do that, you don't need to do that, but just listen and take this in. Once upon a time, there was a farmer who decided to grow bamboo. They planted the seeds and began to care for them diligently. Every day, they watered the seeds, fertilized the soil, and made sure the seeds received enough sunlight. Despite their consistent efforts, nothing seemed to happen. Weeks passed, then months, and still no sign of growth. The farmer continued their routine, faithfully tending to the seeds. After a year, there was still no visible progress. Friends and neighbors began to doubt them, suggesting that they should give up and plant something else. But the farmer persisted, believing in the potential of the bamboo. Another year went by, and still nothing happened. The farmer remained committed despite the growing skepticism around them. They knew that true growth often takes time, and giving up too soon would mean never seeing the results of their hard work. In the third and fourth years, there was still no sign of growth above the soil. The farmer's resolve was tested, but they did not waver. They continued to nurture the seeds with unwavering dedication. Finally, in the 5th year, something miraculous happened. The bamboo began to sprout. Within a matter of weeks, it grew over 80 feet tall. What seemed like no progress for years was actually a period of critical development beneath the surface. The roots were establishing, the roots were establishing a strong foundation, preparing for extraordinary growth that would eventually follow. The bamboo farmer's story teaches us that success often requires patience and perseverance. Significant achievements take time and effort, and just because we can't see progress immediately doesn't mean that it's not happening. Like the bamboo, our efforts may be laying the groundwork for a sudden and spectacular breakthrough. So if your eyes are not already closed, go ahead and close them now as we tap into that 4-speed blender. See, I still can't say it. And at this time, before we go into prayer, just bringing into your mind someone or something, some situation that is either challenging or being challenged. And just holding them in what we call the light, the love of God, or whatever name you want to call it. Seeing them, seeing that situation as that perfect light. And just acknowledging that one source, that great spirit, the infinite, absolute, universal, knowing that I am one with that source, as well as each and every person in this room. Knowing that we have the power to create whatever it is that we want to create. And knowing that today's service is continuing to water the seeds that have been planted here, continuing to bring the sunlight to nurture the growth, knowing that it is in God's divine timing. And all we need to do is trust in that creative process. And I am so thankful for Reverend Denise's message today, knowing that it falls on perfect ears, that we receive this message as God's message to us, continuing to cultivate the seeds in our own lives, our loved ones, and our community. In gratitude, I release this prayer into the law, knowing it is done. And together we say, and so it is. And now, before I lower the microphone, only slightly, she's almost as tall as I am, our lovely new addition to the community, put your hands together for Reverend Denise.
Let me see.
And I've got some help.
Good morning. Oh, thank you so much, Big Love Band. The songs were absolutely perfect. The prayer was perfect. The meditation's perfect for our theme today and our theme this month. We are, as you know, fertilizing your future, fertilizing our future. Today's message really has morphed into not only visioning beyond your horizon, but visioning beyond our horizon as a community. So I want us to listen today with both ears, like it's all about you and it's all about us. But before we begin the serious business of inspiration and enthusiasm, I need to tell you about the 5 houses of worship in a small town that were being overrun by squirrels. There was a Presbyterian church, a Baptist church, a Methodist church, a Catholic church, and a Jewish synagogue, and all of them were being terrorized by squirrels. Have any of you ever been terrorized by squirrels? Like if they know you have peanuts in your screened porch? Yes, yes. So one day, they had to do something about it. So each church began a process. One day, the Presbyterian Church called a meeting and decided, after much prayer and consideration, that the squirrels weren't supposed to be there. They were not part of God's will for the church, and they had to go away. So I'm not quite sure what the Presbyterian Church did, but the Baptist Church, the squirrels had taken up the place where they did the baptisms. So what church leadership did is they covered the baptistery. Thank you. Reverend Diane is in the house. And they decided to cover it up, thereby drowning the squirrels and therefore solving the problem of the squirrels. But it's okay, it didn't work. The squirrels found a way out and were double the number the following week. The Methodist Church decided that they could not harm any of the squirrels, so they humanely trapped them, drove many, many miles away, released them, but that also did not work. The next week, they brought all their friends with them. The Catholic Church came up with really the best plan, is that they made all the squirrels members. So now they only see them on Christmas, Easter, which we're not even at the good part yet. But anyway, they could live with that because it was only a few days a month. So not much was really heard from the Jewish synagogue, but what they did is they took one squirrel and performed a very sacred ritual on it called a circumcision, and they never saw another squirrel. My delivery was not great, but thank you. So vision beyond your horizon. This whole month has been about fertilizing our future. We've been exploring the seed, soil, plant analogy everywhere this month. It's come up in every meeting, every class, seed, soil, plant. And last week we talked about conditioning, fertilizing. The environment is up to us, right? So we are the fertilizer of our planted seeds. We're the sunlight, the positive thinking, the positive expectation, the not digging up the seed too soon. The reading today was brilliant because it really speaks to even though we do have a little bit of faith, sometimes when we plant our seeds, and the result doesn't show up within 24 hours, we just decide none of this baloney works. It's all just haphazard and chaos, and we stop practicing, right? We stop planting seeds, we stop meditating, we stop praying, we stop the positive expectation. So it's important to understand that we're always emerging, like something's always emerging. And our job really is to plant those seeds and stay faithful. Plant the seeds and stay faithful, personally and for this as a center. Now, one of my favorite quotes is, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's one of my favorite Bible quotes that speaks to our new thought, philosophy, faith, and way of life in a beautiful way. Now, transformation is not change. Change is incremental. Change is I'm going to get a little bit better. I'll lose 2 pounds this month, then 1 pound the following month. And if I stay to it, then eventually I'll be at the body weight I want. That's great. Though I don't know, I've had the same New Year's resolution for about 15 years. Am I the only one? I'm going to exercise more this year. Right? I'm going to lose those 5 pounds. But transformation is not just an outward change in behavior, but a fundamental alteration of one's inner nature. It really is the caterpillar to a butterfly, right? The caterpillar just doesn't change. It transforms. It becomes something different. How do you and I become a whole new order of being? How do we shift from being part of the mediocrity of the world, living in fear, doubt, and worry, living in conflict, living in unforgiveness, living in being blown around by the wind? How do we come out of living like that to living by insight or by intuition or by the very presence of spirit in our lives, which is why we're here. It's why I'm here. I'm not sure why you're here. It could just be for the donuts or the jokes or the music or the community, all those things, yes. But there's also needs to be, in my view, a higher why. Like, why are we here? And this has come up for us as a center. You know, we are all in another transition. I'm a new transition for you. You know, some of you haven't made up your mind yet whether I'm a keeper or not. But it doesn't really matter. Thank you. You're a keeper too. But my point being really is that it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that there is a process going on, that something new is happening. We have a clean slate. We have a new beginning. We have a possibility that wasn't there before for the community and for you as a spiritual seeker. And the question will arise as we move through the process, how what does that look like? How do we need to change? Who do we need to become? I remember, I think I've said this once before in a talk here, where at the Bodhi Center with Reverend Mark Anthony Lord, we used to be at the Lincoln Park in Chicago at the Apollo Theater. And we would do our Sunday service in there, so it was a great big production. If any of you know Reverend Mark Anthony Lord, he's a very flamboyant guy. But Oprah Winfrey lives in Chicago. And he wanted to have her come to the service. He wanted more than anything for Oprah to care about us, the Bodhi Spiritual Center, right? So we would put a sign, we put a sign on the center chair that said, "Reserved for Oprah Winfrey." And the question in all of our staff meetings and all of our visioning and all the practitioner meetings was, who do we need to become in order for her to be interested in us? Like, why would she want to come here? So it's kind of the question we're asking ourselves too. It's like, who do we need to become in order to fulfill the vision, the mission, and the goals of our personal lives, our soul's intention, and who we are as a spiritual community. I want to go back to this. I wanted to unpack this picture for you. Is Robert here? So on Wednesday, he told this story, and it was such a perfect story for what we're talking about today. And it's very, very simple, that if you put a little fish in a fish bowl, you know how when you were a little kid, your parents, they brought you this little fish bowl and you had a fish in it, that the fish is about this big. If you take that fish and put it in a bigger fish bowl, or let's say a 5-gallon tank, that fish will grow to this big. And then if you replace that 5-gallon aquarium with a 10-gallon aquarium, the fish will grow this big. And if you put it in a 100-gallon aquarium, the fish will grow this big. So there's something so beautiful about that analogy, because it implies that we need to enlarge the space in which we live, right? We need to enlarge the space that we occupy. So a little bit, that's what this conversation is. It's like, how do we break out of our patterns, our habits, our ways of being? You know, by the way, do you like these tables? Yeah. So I remember doing yoga, and the yoga teacher every day would come in and say, move your mat. Don't go to the same place every time. So I'm going to move the qualities on the tables. So if you think you're part of the love table now, it's not going to be there next week. It's going to be over there. But it's a little bit like a chick. Chicken and egg, a bird and an egg, eventually hatches because it cannot stay in the egg, or it will die. It needs a larger environment. Are you guys with me? So the transformation, that becoming a different order of being, has to do with thinking differently, perceiving differently, stretching beyond our comfort zone, being willing to do things a new way, a different way. You know, I'm sure it's annoying to so many of you, because you've had so many ministers over the past several years, and we come in and we change everything. Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like we say, oh, I want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. And everyone's going, no, but we like it this way. It's like, I know, but let's try something new. It's like, no, I don't want to do something new. It's the same with us in our personal lives. It's right, move your yoga mat, right? Get up on the other side of the bed. Write a love letter with your left hand. I don't know. Do something different. So we have an affirmation for today. This is our affirmation for today, so I'll read it, and then you read it after me. We'll repeat it again at the end of the talk. Today, I will align my thoughts, words, and actions. I gave instructions. They were very clear. All right, scratch my instructions. Say it with all your heart. Go. Today. That's perfect. So from now on, I'm not going to repeat it first, and you're just going to go full bore. This is a very willful group. So idea number one on this idea of expanding beyond your horizons, expanding beyond our horizons, is the practice of visioning. Now, some of you have done visioning, which was a spiritual practice developed by Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith of the Agape International Spiritual Center that's been adopted all over the world by our centers, churches, study groups, and teaching chapters because it works. And what it is essentially is a practice which takes us beyond what we already know, beyond our sequential linear thinking, beyond our ego's idea about what something can or should be. So it's an incredibly powerful practice. And by the way, we are going to do that as a community today after service. We'll take a little break and come back in so you can actually have the experience of visioning, because you can do it for your personal life as well as for an organization, the place you work, or your church community. It has nothing to do, it's a tool that allows us, well, you can imagine, I don't know how many people are in this room, maybe 45 or 50. Everyone has an opinion. Do you know what I mean? Everyone has their no, we don't know what you mean. Everybody has their idea about what color we should paint that room. And if we relied purely on everyone's opinion or the ego's idea about what color the room should be, we would be fighting by the end of the day, because we begin to model exactly what the world does. I'm right, are you right, I'm right, that's better, this is better. So visioning is a meditative spiritual practice that allows us to be still, to relax the ego muscle, and to move into the brilliant understanding that there is already in God's mind a perfect idea of what color that wall should be. And that idea, that divine idea, can be downloaded by the group. So that when it emerges, it doesn't emerge as differences, it emerges as similarity. It emerges as a divine plan, not an ego plan, because ego plans don't work as well as when we are all in the flow of divine mind. Now, obviously, it takes a belief that there is a God who has an idea, right? It takes a belief that we are spiritual beings created by the same thing. So that 4-speed blender created me and created you, that there is not 8 billion minds, but only one, and that we are all participating in some deep metaphysical way in a shared idea of humanity. And then when we get beyond our little lives, our personal lives, and by the way, I'm not diminishing our little lives, I love my little life. But when we get beyond that, and we feel better when we get beyond that, one of the ways of being is being committed to something greater than yourselves. One of the ways of living is to be committed to something greater than yourself. It leads to happier, healthier people, to not be mired, I think I just made up a word, mired in our the details of our lives, because details will work themselves out. We want to go big picture for ourselves personally and for our community. So once we have divine guidance, once you have divine guidance of what God has in store for you, which during the visioning process, you catch ideas, you catch thoughts, you catch smells, you see pictures. Everybody does it differently, but once you know what that is, then your actions are inspired. So what better way to live in life than to to receive that kind of guidance and then be inspired into action. One of the things that happens with inspired actions is you get inspired results. So the second idea of this expanding beyond our horizon is to recognize and release our limiting beliefs. You can release them all, too, not just one. I had a feeling there were a few over there. So we are all limited by our beliefs to some degree. In our ego state, our conditioned self, the part of us has been trained and educated and domesticated by living, has beliefs. Some of those you know you have, some of those you don't know you have. Some of them you know you have because you're very sure about it. This is what I believe. Some of them you don't know, but it continues to outpicture in your life, right? So Ernest Holmes used to say, you want to know what you believe, just look at your life. It does make you want to throw up a little. Especially on the areas that you feel victimized by someone else, or the areas where you feel it's not really your fault, or the areas where you feel you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It is so easier to say, oh, it's their fault. I would be doing this if it weren't for them or they or whatever. So, but if nothing else, we teach here we're not victims. We're little mini gods. You know, we're creative, powerful, intentional, committed beings who really have at our disposal, not because we're so smart, but because God's so smart, that we have at our disposal the capacity to create from nothing, to make stuff up, right? To plant seeds of any kind that we want. So one question you might ask yourself is, what stories am I telling myself that limit my future potential? Now, you'll know this because it's kind of shows up in your complaints or your whining. Now that was funny. I don't know why you laugh at some things and not at other things.
I know why she laughed.
So it shows up. It shows up in the places in your life where you're not happy, where, you know, I'm so tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm so tired of not having enough closet space. I'm so tired, you know, of working someplace where I'm not happy or not appreciated, or fill in the blank, right? Those are the areas that I'm assuming if you thought you could change that, you would. If you thought you could solve the problem, you would. If you thought you could have a bigger closet, you'd have one. If you thought you could heal your body, you'd heal it. If you thought you could move, you'd move. If you thought you could find a new job, you would. So our limiting beliefs, those ideas that keep us on the hamster wheel of life, need to be dealt with. They need to be dissolved. They need to be acknowledged and released. But you need to know what they are. So the invitation is not to just be here on a Sunday and be in community, but to actually during the week begin to look. What are you telling yourself that is keeping you feeling bad or lonely or poor or sick or tired or angry? Now, you guys don't know me all that well. It's only been about a 5-week relationship, 6-week relationship. But I'm kind of a hard ass about this for myself. Oh, now you laugh. In that my tolerance level anymore for suffering is zero. So if I'm going through my day and I'm suffering, suffering arises in me like, whoa. Like, whoa, what is that? It's like, so what am I telling myself? What is the thought I'm thinking that is at this moment causing me pain? And you can ask yourself, and yourself will tell you. And then what do you do when you know? You stop it. You stop thinking that, right? Now, you might say, well, that's not, you can't just stop thinking things. I can't help how I feel. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Eckhart Tolle says emotions, pain is where the body and the emotions meet, right? You have a thought, the thought triggers emotions, your emotions trigger actions and words and feelings, and we have total control over your thoughts. It's the only thing you have total control over. So think a new one, think a new thought, think a new thought. Now, you and the world, patience and persistence, were those the two words in the reading? Patience and persistence. Be perseverance, that's even better. Be patient with yourself. Be persistent with yourself. It has taken, how many years have you been alive? That's how long it's taken. That's how many thoughts you've had to be sitting where you're sitting today with the life you have today. No, is that a truth statement? Yeah. Right? It's so however many millions and millions and millions of thoughts, millions and millions and millions of repetitive, part of why these beliefs are so terrible and challenging is because we regurgitate them over and over and over and over and over again in our minds. There are mantras. I'm tired. I'm tired is a mantra. I'm so tired. I'm so busy. It's a mantra. And what does the universe say to you when you say, I'm so busy? Yes. What does the universe say to you when I'm so poor? What does it say? Yes. Yeah. So we want to stop saying that, right? We want to step into the idea that you have to start saying something new, and it may take 5 years for the bamboo of your happiness to grow 80 feet. But if you don't change what you say, it will never grow. Nothing will ever change if you don't change. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Yes. It's not easy, though, is it? No. It's not easy. If it were easy, we would all do it. And as my friend Edward Vilhune said, if you and I can't do it, why do we think anybody can do it? So we have to do it. We have to prove the principle. We have to prove the presence of God in our lives. And we can't do that through suffering. We do it through joy. So the third idea of this trilogy of ideas, visioning, neutralizing the beliefs that are limiting you. You don't have to neutralize the beliefs that are helping you. But when you can choose, it's really helpful, right? When you can say which ones are and which ones aren't. And the third idea is aligning your daily actions with long-term goals. When I was preparing for this became especially poignant in my mind because I'm a new minister here. I have a big vision for myself and for the world, which means by necessity you inherit that for the duration that I am here. And that I want us to have a big vision, and we want to make sure that what we're doing today is the fertilizer for those seeds, and that in truth, this community, I don't know about you personally, but doesn't really have in writing anywhere what our goals are. Like, what do we want to do this year? Who do we want to be in the world? What influence do we want to have? So we have to do that work. Today we're going to just take 45 minutes and do one piece. We're going to start the process of seed planting today. But the question is, are you walking your walk and talking your talk? Even right where you are today, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey is exactly where you're supposed to be. Nobody needs to be further along the path than anyone else. You are exactly where you are. But given where you are you walking the walk and talking the talk to your own happiness and satisfaction? When you have a higher why, when you have a vision, when you know where you're going, it is how you make decisions It's how you choose. Now, this is not mysterious. If I go, let's see, I'm on a 1-year quest to revitalize my body temple, to get back my energy and my stamina and my strength. Let's say that's my higher why for this year. Are you with me? It's my thing. So, actually, I could give you I ran a marathon once, in 1983. I ran 26.2 miles, never did it before, never done it since, and don't know why I did it then. It's an insane thing for any human being to do. But I was younger. But I remember having this major realization that when you're getting ready to run 26.2 miles, you must run. You must practice. That there is no running 26.2 miles without practicing, right? So I would get up in the morning and the question was, well, am I going to have pancakes, eggs, and bacon, or am I going to go for a run? And yeah, maybe both. But the decision at that moment is, if you're going to walk your walk and talk your talk, you have to do that which is consistent with achieving your long-range goals. Sounds simple, right? But it's the same thing here. If we have a goal to have a playground out and back for the kids and have a vibrant, healthy youth program and have 25 kids running through here, who do we need to be in the process of making that happen? So by opening up to a bigger idea for our lives, we open to visioning God's idea for us, because I promise you, your essence, your soul, your whatever you want to call it, your spirit, the part of you that is non-local, non-physical, non-material, a part of you that is birthless and deathless, eternal, it's not here for nothing. It's not here for no reason. There's some kind of something driving us on day by day by day through the trials and tribulations of human life, but something to be expressed by us. We want to know what that is, and then we want to walk in it. It is really, I think, in my view, probably ultimately that which allows us to be on our deathbeds satisfied, happy, proud of how we've lived and the mark that we've made. Now, does that mean you have to be a famous person and change the world? No. But it does mean that you need to give your gifts and talents. It means you need to do what is yours to do out of a space of all the qualities of God that we practice and learn here. Unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, kindness, generosity. So today, we can draw a distinction here between life-affirming actions and life-denying actions. So life-affirming, meaning, is it supporting and buoying the fulfillment of your dreams, or is it working against you? If you're working on improving your health and you have a choice between eating an entire chocolate cake and a bowl of oatmeal, which one for you, which one for you is life affirming, meaning it's adding to and not detracting from? And which decision is going to have you feeling like you fell short of like you missed the mark somewhere? Like, how many times, listen, I know, we're all human. How many of us have gone, God, I wish I didn't eat that chocolate cake? Right? Except for B. I wish I hadn't spoken that way to that person. I wish I hadn't lied. I wish I had gotten up early. I know that getting up early is better for me, but I can't get out of bed. It's like we are being called into inspired action. So these are just, this is food for thought. right? This is ways of, it can't be, it's not enough really to have me share my good God life with you, right? It's not, I mean, I can tell you how fulfilled I am or how satisfied I am, how much fun I have, how youthful and healthy my body, I can tell you all that, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that we come together, you hear a message, you hear a word, or you hear a phrase, you have an aha moment, and then you go home and do it, right? You go home and live it, you go home and walk it. So that is moving beyond our horizon today means moving beyond what we've always known, what we're comfortable with, what other people are comfortable with on our behalf, so that we can live in an inspired space with a higher why. And you'll see through the visioning process, there's a few questions in that process which invite us into figuring out what we need to release and what we need to embrace in order to become, in order for Oprah Winfrey to sit in that front row seat, what did that spiritual community need to be in order for her to be interested? And they might have needed to be inclusive. They might have needed to be less cliquish. They might have needed to go deeper spiritually. They might have needed to call her on the phone. Who knows? But the question is so rich and delicious. Like, what do I need to do to become that vision of myself or the vision of this community? Yes? All right, so one more time. And so it is, and so it is. Thank you so much. Now, I hope you will stay after service for a little while and do the visioning process. I promise you it will be worth it. It will be fun and very, very useful to the community as well, because we have a way for you to share, to turn in what you get from the visioning, and then we will synthesize it and feed it back to you, and it will begin to move us toward vision, mission, purpose, and towards letting this year be inspired action. So before I do that, though, let's pray. Let's anchor this in prayer. So take a moment and turn within with me. And we're turning within to the space and place and dimension within our being that is limitless, that is historyless, that is truly the place that connects us not only to each other, but to all beings everywhere, to all animals everywhere, all plants everywhere, that we live on a web of connection. Whatever happens on any part of that web happens on the entire web. And so I know that as we turn within, we're turning within to the power and the presence of infinite wisdom, intelligence, beauty. I call it God, but you can call it the thing itself. You can call it a 4-speed blender. You can call it Henry. But whatever name we call it, it is everywhere present, all-knowing and all-powerful, all-loving, unconditionally loving. We are loved and beloved. And so it is from that space of unconditional love, that space of belonging and connection, that space of possibility and potential, that I just speak this word for and about each person within the sound of my voice and this entire magnificent CSL community here in Cape Coral, absolutely affirming, declaring, and proclaiming that we move beyond our boundaries. We look beyond the horizon, and to know that it's safe to drive our boat there, that we can be different, we can stretch, we can change, we can morph, we can become. We are evolutionary beings. And so it is natural for us to become more, to become better, to become as the kind of human being that God would have us become. And so for this, I'm grateful for this opportunity to stand here and speak these words, to be a part of the evolution of this spiritual community, and to know that in truth, everything is exactly as it should be. No accidents, nothing broken, wrong, or missing, that we live in a state of spiritual perfection now and always, awaiting us to recognize its truth. And as we do this, we expand. And so I release these words. I plant these seeds into the fertile soil of the universe, this magnificent medium that loves to grow things out of the seeds we plant, doesn't care what they are, just says, yes, I'll happily give you a youth program. Yes, I'll happily give you more money. Yes, I'll happily give you a new job. Yes, I'll happily give you friends. And we allow it to permeate us so that our actions are inspired and we glorify in gratitude. We glorify with gratitude for the good in our lives. And so these words are released, we accept them and expect their manifestation, and we do this with love and peace and calm by saying together, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Okay, thank you, community. So now is the time for our community offering. This is a time where you give your financial, time, treasure, and talent are the three cornerstones of any community. It's our community, and today, this moment is for our tithing. So you can see, there are ways of, you can do a cash or check here, and I'll bless it in a moment. You can also do your contributions through PayPal or our website, or you can, of course, mail a check to our address, which is on the screen. So take your offering today, whatever it is, or if you tithe online, just put your hands over your heart to truly, with a spirit of generosity and with joy, bless your offering as we say our offering affirmation together. Today, I know the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of this sinner. I give and receive generously as I live in the flow of bountiful good, and so it is. Thank you, ushers. And please welcome the Big Love Band back.
Presence of the power, standing where others have stood. Gladly we offer the gifts of our abundance, knowing the source of our good.
All right, let's just take a moment and do what I know to do with everything, is to bless it, to bless this money given this day with generosity and joy, knowing that it is multiplied and goes forth to do the good works that this center is divined to do for its members and for the community at large. We are grateful, both the giver and the receiver are equally and most powerfully blessed, and so it is. Amen. All right, first time, do we have anyone here with us today for the very first time, never been here before? Please, so, oh, that's not true. Well, I don't know that we have first-time visitors this week, so we're going to have double the numbers next week. But if you are here and being shy, please see Kay or one of our ushers, and they'll give you a welcome packet. All right, so just one final announcement. Just again, we are going to plant some seeds this afternoon for the community. So if you want to practice, do a visiting session for the center, but that will teach you how to do it for yourself as well. Please stay and do that with me. That would be wonderful. And we have a new closing song, which the Big Love Band is going to do. And I think it'd be wonderful if everyone stood, the practitioners came forward, let's sing the song, and then I'll do the benediction, and we'll take a short break before we come back in. So. Oh. We need 2 clickers.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
Take a deep